Guys, what's going on? Happy Friday. All right. Man, if you hear me a little sniffly, stuffed up, I apologize. I was pretty sick last week. Not sure what it was. I tested for COVID twice. It came up negative, but I don't know. I kind of felt like it was COVID, but I'm still dealing with the remnants of it. So if I sound a little stuffed up or whatever, my apologies. Anyways, so everybody got going on this weekend? Hopefully you're going to go see a show. Check out some good stuff. I'm going to be rehearsing and rocking out right now, so I thought, well, might as well go live and hang out with you guys while I do it. So I've got this warm-up thing that I do. If you've seen Disturbed Live these last couple tours, you've noticed that we've got a drum solo, there's a guitar solo, then I do a bass solo. So from my bass solo, now I have sort of like this really intense warm-up routine. It might become my new bass solo down the road, but it's slightly different. It's similar, but it's definitely different. I haven't played this in a couple weeks, so hopefully I remember it. But I'm just gonna kind of jam it in the background here and get my fingers nice and loose before I dive into some of these songs. So let's see. I think it's in 6. I think I do it in A instead of, let's see here. Well, that's right, here we go. little sloppy, but it's a good warm-up on the right hand, for sure. You know, just getting started today. That little technique, super fast, this whole, if you look at my right hand here. Just cooking right along, which a lot of Disturbed songs do that, so it's a good right hand warm-up. All right, what are we going to start with today? Yeah, a little Hey You. Hey You. All right, how's everybody doing? We got some people joining in. Let's see who we got here. Got to wear my glasses so I can read what y'all are saying. Hello from Ukraine. No kidding. How are you doing, Mr. Weselski? That's definitely a Ukrainian name if I've ever heard one. What's the rig you're using nowadays? It's a good question, Brent. I don't really use much of a bass rig. What I use, I'll show it to you. So I plug my bass in basically directly into a pedal board. And one of the pieces I use, let me see if I have one in here that I can show to you in my pedal board. But mostly I just go direct with a little bit of a bass preamp. Like right now I'm just plugging into my computer and I got some presets in Logic that I use for the purposes of this. I don't really use an amp in Disturbed. We don't have amps on stage. So I go direct, and then what I need to hear comes into my in-ear monitors. So most of my tone is really just this bass, and then I use a Billy Sheehan distortion pedal, and I split the tone. So I have, I would say it's 70% my clean bass going through a really decent DI, and these Spectre basses are fantastic tones. And then I would say maybe 30% of my sound is a Billy Sheehan distortion pedal. And then my sound guy kind of dials in the two tones. You know, both my monitor guy and my sound guy, they'll dial in the tones accordingly. The distortion gives it a little bit of a grit, a little bit of a mid-range push. But I still keep my clean tone because when you distort bass too much, you definitely lose the thump of the bottom end. It starts to get soft. We don't want to lose that. You know, we want that to turn into sha 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 sha, like a mix of the two for sure, but just all distortion. It becomes more of an effect and less of a real bass tone. So, anyways, any other questions before I dive into this? Sounds awesome. Yeah, it's not too bad. Like I said, it's the bass, you know, these Spectre basses. Of course, I like to think it's a little bit in the fingers too, and the way I play. You know, I play with a pick, and I play pretty hard and percussive. It works for metal stuff, you know, the stuff that's a little heavier and faster and more intricate. But if I'm doing something that's a little more rock based, like a then fingerstyle works really well for that more warm tone. Kind of depends on the style of music you're playing, is the way I attack the instrument. Hello, Brazil. How are you? Hello, everybody. What's going on? Yes, I love Nirvana. Love Nirvana. I grew up on Nirvana. I remember when I first heard Smells Like Teen Spirit. Let me try to get this right. I think I was a junior in high school, and I heard it on a college radio station in Las Cruces, New Mexico. I grew up in El Paso. We were in Las Cruces going to a concert. I'm trying to remember what concert we went to. I don't know. They were playing the Pan American Center, which is the venue back in the day in Las Cruces. And we were listening to the college radio, and I heard Smells Like Teen Spirit, and I just remember it. It was so just raw but cool but heavy. I mean, that song really was a game changer. It really changed the way we listen to music, and the you know, like that's when it like turned from sort of glam rock and the Bon Jovis and the Warrens of the world, and all of a sudden grunge, you know, and it was less about a guitar solo and the Hairspray and more about songwriting and you know, an attitude. So I just remember it, and it's like it's one of those songs, they call it reactive. It was very reactive. It just, and the label had no idea that song was going to do as good as it did. So when Nirvana first put out that record, the single took off, but I can't remember what label they were on, but they didn't make enough copies. At the time, there was no streaming, guys. There was no MP3s. This was, you know, you were still buying CDs in record stores at Tower Records and Camelot. And so if you wanted to sell your records, you had to have the product in stores, and they were not prepared for the reaction that Teen Spirit was going to get. And so it Smells Like Teen Spirit blows up, and that first week they did not have the CDs they needed, you know, so like it sold out everywhere, but it could have done so much better that first and second week. It took a while before the record label got enough printed to really satisfy demand. Obviously we know the history now. So yeah, love Nirvana. Grew up on all that grunge stuff. Great stuff. Hey, what's up, Shannon? Right on. Yep, the QR guys. They were so sweet. My mom actually went to a Queensryche show in El Paso. She calls me up. She's like, "Oh, Johnny, Queensryche is playing. It's a free show, but I really like to meet the band." So, you guys all know I'm friends with Jeff Tate, but I'm also friends with Todd Latour. And so I reached out to Todd. Todd's the sweetest guy. I said, "Hey, man, my mom's coming to the show." And he said, "Oh, you know, just let me know when she gets there." And she got to take pictures with the band and meet them, and they put her in a little VIP section. She's 83 years old, so I was like, you know, if you got a little special spot for her where she can sit down and enjoy the show, and they totally set her up. So thank you to the guys in Queensryche for making that happen for my mom. She was just over the moon about it. Anyways, yeah, 83 years old and goes to shows. I don't know. She's out of her mind. Literally, here we go. What are we? I'm going to. Hey guys, what's going on? Yeah. Oh yeah. Mike does those little fills in my bass solo. Love that. See you at Knotfest Chile. Yep, that's what we have coming up. I think that's in November. Cool. All right. Actually, you know what? Let's start with something heavier. Let's start with Unstoppable off the new record. The balance should be okay. Hopefully you're going to hear the bass above the music. I might have to make adjustments while we're playing here, but let me turn the bass up just a little more. All right, here we go. Unstoppable off of the new record, Divisive. What next? What next? Let's see. How about... Let's hop around. Let's do something off of 10,000 Fists. How about 10,000 Fists? Title track. Yep. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. Hope everybody's going to have a good week. Oh, this was a little quiet. Let's turn this sucker up. Here we go. So 10,000 Fists, this is my first record with the band. Released in 2005. Heck yeah, Mikey. Back up music a little bit. Here we go. Cool. So, those of you guys who are just showing up, happy Friday. It is I, John Moyer, bass player for Disturbed, getting ready for a couple of shows that we have coming up at the end of this month. We've got Dubuque, Iowa, and then a couple days later, Rocklahoma. So, you know, it's always good just to make sure I'm at my top game. We want to make sure that we come in there and give you guys the best show possible. So, and anyways, you know, this is fun for me to jam for you guys and get to know some of my fans here, and you guys get to know me a little bit. So let's see. Speaking of getting to know each other, I'm going to read some of y'all's comments. Will there be a tour after the new album comes out? Always, every band always has a tour after the new album comes out. Now, when the new album comes out, you know, that's not to say yet. We haven't written it completely, you know, but we have we have songs that a lot of songs that are already circulating, and then I know Dan's always coming up with new ideas. So but every band, the whole reason to put out a record now is to tour, basically, because let's be honest, I think back before Napster, MP3s, file sharing, and then eventually Spotify and subscription based platforms. Before that, bands could make a record and not tour. And if they were, if it sold enough, they could sustain a living off it and actually make a really good living off it. You go back to the Beatles, they weren't a touring band. In fact, I think that their last couple of records, 3-4 records, they just put out music and weren't a touring entity. And, those guys are, they were doing all right. But nowadays, you could be, unless you're like a super top tier seller, it still is very difficult to make money just releasing records. You almost have to tour. So it used to be that you would tour to help support the sales of the record. Now the record's like an advertisement for the tour. Now, if you're going to be a working musician, you better be prepared to work, because you're going to be out there on the road, 6 to 8 months on a touring cycle. Working it, and you're coming home sometimes, take little breaks, be careful not to burn out. But when you're not out there, if you're not out there pushing the record, then, you're not making the money that you need to take care of yourself and your family. That's just the reality of it now. But you know what? I'm a lifer. I've been doing this since my first record was in a band called Soak back in 1996. The record came out in 97. We were signed in 96. And that was a little bit, you were still getting your music from Camelot, from buying a record. But sorry guys, I'm stuffed up. I've been sick all week. I'm still dealing with it. I'm feeling better, but there's still some drainage and all that stuff. So sorry if I start sneezing or whatever, my apologies. But that's what's going on. All right. Let's see what else. Let me know when you have some time around home. You know it, Shannon. Shannon Book, ladies and gentlemen. Great musician, great songwriter. You guys got to go check him out. Shannon Book Music. Let's see here. I'm going to go down the list here. I saw you in Peoria in January. Best concert I've ever been to. Thank you, Kira. Hello from New Mexico. Nice. Let's see here. What else we got? Hi from Quebec. Love my Canadians. Yeah, the glasses. Yeah, that's what happens. I mean, you can look me up on Wikipedia, so I'm just going to tell you, I'm 50 years old. And I started wearing these, I realized in my mid-40s, I'm reading stuff this far away. And I used to be a really avid reader, and I stopped reading because it was just too hard for me. And finally, I just bit the bullet. And I'm like, you know what, it's time for me to get some readers. Now I've got these things in every room of my house, my car, and I almost carry it in my pocket constantly. It's just might as well make a pocket in my phone for this, because that's how often I have to use them now. Oh man, let's see here. Next year will be 20 years. Oh gosh, on 10K Fists. Any chance of a celebration? I mean, we're getting to the point now with Disturbed where the 25th anniversary of Down with the Sickness is coming up. And every record's going to start having these 25th anniversaries soon enough. Every 2 years we're going to have another 25th anniversary, of those first, from Down with the Sickness to Believe, 10,000 Fists, Indestructible, Asylum. All 5 of those records came out in a relatively short time span, considering it's 5 records. I think it was 5 records in 8 or 9 years. So it is going to be I don't know if we're going to do an anniversary tour in every one of them, or we're going to do some kind of celebration, but I would like to think that, yes, I would love to do that. I love going back on these older albums and just playing all the music that was off them, because some of these songs get lost. When you come see Disturbed now, you're going to see, you're going to see the hits. You're going to see, Down with the Sickness, Sound of Silence, and then, whatever we're pushing on the new record, and songs like Stricken, and, so it's all over the place. Our catalog keeps growing. And so some songs, on these records, we haven't played since the record came out, and it would be fun to go back and like relearn those songs, and even if we only do like a couple performances, it would be awesome for us to go out and do like, maybe a month-long run of 10,000 Fists, or, and just so people who are super fans of that album can come and see it. And then maybe we do an encore with like Sound of Silence and Down with the Sickness, so that fans don't walk away going, whoa, they didn't play Down with the Sickness. Well, it's the anniversary tour, bro. Anyways, let's see here. What else do we got? Do you ever have trouble remembering how to play some older stuff from Soak, Union Underground, Art of Anarchy, etc.? I couldn't play an Art of Anarchy song to save my life. I'd have to totally go back and relearn it. The Union Underground stuff, I would have to revisit, but it would probably come back to me pretty quick. I still remember. Let's see here. I think this was South Texas Death Yard. No, I guess I would have to relearn it. The Soak stuff, for some reason, maybe because it's so early in my career and like I did a lot of writing on those records. That stuff I can pretty much still play. Like it's still kind of in my brain. We had this song called Clover. It's actually I still use it to warm up. Fun stuff. But yeah, and you also mentioned Operation Mindcrime, the 3 records I did with Jeff Tate. And I have to relearn songs for sure. If I don't play them for a while, I definitely have to go back and, make sure. Even when we were just touring, I could, if we're not doing shows every day and I take like a month or 2 off, I don't take chances. I still go back and I just make sure that I still remember how, even a song like Down with the Sickness, I'm probably not going to forget that one, but, like Unstoppable, I played it before I just wanted to make sure I had it before I went live, and just wanted to make sure I had it, because sometimes I think I do, and then I go in and I'm like, oh yeah, how does this part go again? And then as soon as I remember it, then it comes back to me and it sticks. So, yeah, I definitely got to relearn stuff sometimes. I mean, and we all do, Zach from Shinedown, he posted something a couple years ago. He's like, there's nothing like going on YouTube and finding somebody playing your song to remind you how it's supposed to go. So yeah, sometimes, we might bring it back some older track as we do, and I'll have to be like, wait a minute, and I'll have to like do some research and remember exactly how I played it. Let's see here. Shannon, Shannon's going to play Midday tomorrow. If you want to go to Shannon Book Music and check out what he's got going on. How does the Animal bass go? Oh yeah. All right. Let's pull it up. The Animal. I think I can. I haven't played this one in a while, but I think I can pull this one out. It's got a really intense middle section, though. I will say that. Let's see here. The Animal. Disturbed Animal. Oh man, I swear to God, when I woke up this morning, didn't have this runny nose happening like this. But here we go. Asylum, The Animal, here it is. Okay, I'm just gonna go over this one little section of my head, make sure I remember how it goes. It. I think it'll come back to me once I start playing it. All right, The Animal it is. It's a little loud. This song's in standard. It is not. There we go. So I gotta tune up. I'm like, why am I out of tune with this? This should work now. That's it. Okay, cool. So I don't know if you know this, Disturbed uses different tunings. Dan's really good about changing up. So, not all the songs are in the same key, So I actually have 6 different basses tuned to different songs throughout the show. So this tuning that we're in right now, I would call it standard. In other words, like the it's like E, A, D, G, B, E, standard, but the whole thing's a half step down. So it's D sharp or E flat. But all those strings are still the same relative, separation from each other. Just the whole guitar is a half step down. So here we go. And you know what? We won't listen to the intro again. We'll just kind of skip that and let's get to the meat of it. Here we go. That again. I'm gonna nail that. I haven't played that in a while. Here we go. So. That's it. It's fast. Top of the bridge. Not the best performance I've ever done on that. Probably one of the worst, actually. I would definitely have to remind myself how that one goes before I jump into it again. But I took a chance. At least you know it's real here, guys, right? Hey, man, we all got to work at it. But definitely, I don't ever step on stage unless I'm completely prepared. You know, I make sure that set list is my bitch, and I know every note perfectly. But yeah, we haven't done the animal in a little while, so I guess if it's on the set list for these upcoming shows, you know I'm going to be working it and making sure it's perfect. So let's see here. What else can we do? What do you guys want to hear? You know what? I heard a lot of people, when I did this last time, I think a lot of people wanted to hear the game. Hi, Jules. Hey, hi, Angela. Do your kids play guitar at all? My son does. Yeah, he's pretty good. I've got a video. If you check out my Instagram, I have a pinned video of him and I playing together. We're doing Tornado of Souls by Megadeth. It's just like the back half of it, but he's playing like, you know, the lead guitar parts. And this was a couple years ago, and so he's pretty good. He's only gotten better, but lately he's been playing a lot of fingerstyle. Like he's got a crazy techniques. You know, he's really getting those techniques down. So hybrid picking and fingerstyle and stuff like that. He's getting really good at it. It's fun to watch, you know, and he plays piano. And then my stepson Donovan, he's actually a really good piano player too. And so it's a musical family around here. The studio is not just for me. I got the kids coming in here all the time, so that's cool. I love the fact that we can all. Sometimes we all jam together too. Thank you, Jules. She says I'm amazing to my fans. You know what? It's hard to be a rock star and play music and play the world and, you know, and do it consistently. You can't. You know, it's about the fans. You guys are what makes it happen. And I'm just so happy that rock and metal is still alive and that we can still go out there and kick ass for you guys, you know. So let's see here. Where are we going here? I gotta go scrolling way down. Might have missed some of y'all's messages here. Sorry, guys. Melissa B. Sudeth? Hi, how are you? All right. There's a great Wasn't Me by Disturbed cover out there. I'll have to check that out. Indestructible Bass Beginning Goes Hard. I do like that song. Some of my favorite players, some of my bass player influences. Well, Geezer, for sure. I played a lot of Guns N' Roses when I first started playing bass. And so Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses, that first Appetite for Destruction record, I learned the entire album. And I think I was 16. I didn't really pick up an instrument till kind of later on. So I didn't really start playing till I was 16. And I started playing with a pick, and I know, you know, it's kind of like, oh, you're supposed to play bass with your fingers. But then, after I learned all the Appetite for Destruction record, I found out later that Duff plays with a pick too. So I was like, you know what? Best-selling record of all time, that guy plays with a pick. I actually know all his bass lines, so I felt really validated about that. But I'm, play with my fingers now too, and it's a different animal, no pun intended. All right. Oh, yeah. I remember the song I want to do for you guys. Since I'm already in this key, standard, half step down, I'm going to do, everybody asked for this one last time. Let me go to my playlist over here. I have a Disturbed rehearsal playlist. The Animal was not on my Disturbed rehearsal playlist, by the way. That was strictly a request out of the blue. That's why I had to stop it halfway through and remember how the bridge went. All right. Here's the one that everybody's been wanting me to play. Oh, yeah. You guys will love this one. It's got a little bit of an intro before the bass comes in, but let's just listen to the whole thing. Let's turn that sucker up. Yeah. This time I kinda like the misery you put me through. Darling, you can't trust me completely. If you even try to look the other way, I think that I could That one's always fun. All right. Okay. I was starting to warm up. I was a little crusty when we started, but now I'm feeling a lot better. My brain feels better. Everything feels better. It's like, when you play and you play a lot, and especially over the years, and you kind of get back into it, it's like a happy place for me, mentally, physically. So I love being on the road. I love playing shows. It's my favorite thing in the world, absolutely. All right, guys, how about let's go for some. I saw someone mention Indestructible. By the way, I don't know if you noticed, that's out of tune, and that's the bridge. And I was like, I couldn't reach over to tune it in time. That would not happen at a show because my tech, Barrett Stevens, makes sure that my basses are in tune. He never hands me one that's out of tune. So. That's the way it's supposed to sound. Alright. So Indestructible is in drop. So drop it down. We call it drop D, but since the entire guitar is down a half step, it's really drop C sharp. And then, I think I mentioned this before, and I also did if you check it out, I do a string video that's on my Instagram, explaining how I tune my bass. Even though it's a 4-string, I tune it like a 5-string. So this low right here is it's really a low B. And so this one here is my E string, the second one. And that's also my D string for drop, But that's the one that gets used the most in rock and metal. And then this low one down here, it'll get used for songs like Voices or Land of Confusion. I'm on it a lot. And then we have songs like the Vengeful one where it's a slightly different tuning, but and I think my next time I do one of these live things, I'm gonna do Vengeful one, Bad Man. There's a handful of songs that are in a whole separate tuning, so I'm going to retune for those so we can do those songs. I don't want to take you all through that right now. We're just going to keep it easy between drop and standard. So anyways, sometimes the lows get used a little more on certain other songs. I don't think I'll be using on Indestructible, though. It'll be primarily the top 3 for me. And it's a kind of an unconventional way to string a bass. I don't know many people who string their 4-string like a 5-string, like I do. There's not many, but I like it. It works for me. I don't need that high G is what it would be. So normally it would be like E, A, D, G, and that high one's just so plinky and twangy, and it's fine for guys who are maybe, that's not really me. I'm more of a, kind of guy. I like playing those root notes. I like those heavier lower notes. I don't need to go way up high. And if I do, plenty of room up here, actually. That's plenty high. Bass don't need to go up there. Maybe for an effect every once in a while, but it's called bass for a reason. That. What are we doing here? Oh, yeah, I remember now. All right, Indestructible, guys. Who's a fan of this song? I love this song. I love this video, too. One of my favorite videos we ever did. We did this video in Hollywood on like a giant, or Hollywood, LA, whatever, on a giant sound stage. It was the biggest green screen you'll ever see. I mean, it was massive. And they had rocks and all this stuff, fake, like desert scenescape, and it was just really cool. And the director had this vision of basically, the song's about being a warrior, which is a real thing for us. We've got a lot of veterans that use our music to get through, their tours or tough times, and I couldn't be more proud to be able to be part of what gives them the attitude, the energy, the power that they need to do the things they have to do. So Indestructible, celebrates the warrior. And in the video, it's like warrior suit time. So like in the very beginning, it's like this barefoot warrior with a spear. And then, like Civil War, and then World War II, and then, eventually it's like, looks like a scene out of Modern Warfare. So, cool video if you haven't seen it. All right, let's do this. Enough talk. More rock. Let's talk more rock, John. Ooh, air raid siren. Ooh. I might come in a hair late because I usually have like a little cue that tells me when the one hits, but I don't have it here. Just listen to the track. Right, somewhere in here it comes in. Oh, this is in C, not C sharp. Well, I don't want to tune the whole thing down to C. Sorry, guys. We'll do Indestructible next time. We'll find another song that's in this key. See, once again, I've got a great tech that hands me the right bass. He knows the tunings. I just know where to play the notes. Let's see here. What do we got? I haven't done this song in a long, long time. Let's do this one. Oh, here we go. This is a good one. Love this song. Prayer. 10,000 bits. This is me using that low string. Alright, next song. Let's just keep it going. Come on. Are you ready? Off of the Evolution record? Are you ready? All right, guys. Let's see here. That was fun. A little 3 in a row there. I'm actually starting to break a little sweat. Yeah. All right. Check in with you guys. How's everybody doing? Love this song.